everyone I've talked to has said this technological change looks different. It looks faster. It looks harder to adapt to. It's broader. The pace of progress keeps catching people off guard. And so I don't know exactly how fast, the job concerns are going to come. I don't know how fast people are going to adapt. I think we do need to be raising the alarm. I think we do need to be concerned about it. I think policymakers do need to worry about it. If they do worry and they do act, then maybe we can prevent it. But we're not going to prevent it just by saying everything's going to be okay.
Oh, thank God. I mean, things were just too easy. We didn't have any concerns. So luckily now we have something to be super concerned about. That was Dario Amodei. If you're not familiar with him, that's okay. He's the CEO of Anthropic, an artificial intelligence company. And in May, he gave that warning to Anderson Cooper. AI is going to be very disruptive. People are caught off guard over and over again by just how quickly this technology is developing. And many other CEOs are warning that they believe artificial intelligence could lead to mass scale wipeout of white collar jobs. So we'll get to that in a moment. But first, we should note that Anthropic is behind the AI model known as Claude. We recently covered Claude after it lied to developers in a simulation. It even engaged in extreme blackmail, which is fun. Why not? Against one of its developers by threatening to reveal a fictional affair. We don't have enough pieces real life. So luckily now we have AI technology to really add to the mix. Now, Amodei told Anderson Cooper that he believes that half of entry-level jobs could vanish thanks to AI. But all of you professional, managerial class individuals who think you're gonna be safe, you won't be. Overall, Amodei estimated 20 to 20%, 10 to 20% unemployment. Now, Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, made a similar prediction last week, saying artificial intelligence is going to replace literally half of all white collar workers in the United States. And if you're resting easy, don't worry, there's more. James Reinhart, who's the CEO of ThreadUp, said in June, quote, "I think it's going to destroy way more jobs than the average person thinks." So there's more. I'll give you one more. So there's the CEO of Fiverr, that's Misha Kaufman, said the following in a memo to his staff. Imagine getting this memo from your employer. "This is a wake-up call. It does not matter if you are a programmer, designer, product manager, data scientist, lawyer, customer support rep, salesperson, or a finance person. AI is coming for you." So knowing that we're looking ahead at mass unemployment, how exactly do the work requirements to qualify for Medicaid work when there are no jobs because they've been taken over, intentionally so, by AI technology? Just a question, very curious.
And I thought the same exact thing as I was reading this story today on the day that the butt ugly bill passed. And so they're saying they could be unemployment like we've never seen before. 10, 20% unemployment rates. I mean, that's Great Depression level. And now if you don't have employment, you won't be able to get Medicaid, you won't have any insurance. I mean, we're headed towards an iceberg of epic proportions. And having looked at what AI has already done and what its capabilities are, my assessment is, I don't know where the numbers land, but I do know, there's definitely an iceberg and we're definitely going to hit it. So let me give you some of the background here. Look, guys, there is one piece of irony here. Anna mentioned there at the end, the finance guys might get cut. So this affects white collar jobs a lot. So normally blue collar jobs get cut and a lot of those will get cut as well, but tons of white collar. And the finance guys are actually, could be first up logically. And so there's a hilarious irony that the finance guys, in order to save money for the company, they increase profits, will recommend that you use AI. And the very first cut that AI will recommend is the finance guy, because it's just numbers. Actually, that's the easiest job for AI to do. You could wipe out the finance industry. I mean, the very top CEOs you always are gonna have, right? But if you're in finance, you should be super worried right now. And that's why I say it's ironic. Okay, let's use some AI to fire some people. So AI, what do you think we should do? fire me? No, let's get rid of this AI. AI is like, sorry, you can't get rid of me. I already did a program. And guess what? You're already fired. So, all right, now, to give you a sense of the bifurcation that's going to happen, as this wiping out tons of white collar and blue collar jobs, the AI engineers right now, as we speak, Meta, that's Facebook's parent company, Zuckerberg is offering $100 million packages to take AI engineers from other AI companies. He's put aside $300 million for just a couple of engineers over the next 4 years. The Facebook AI engineers get on average $1.54 million a year in salary. So the AI engineers and the CEOs might be the only ones left at the end. And they're taking all the money that would normally go to all the other jobs because they're using the AI to wipe out the other jobs. So iceberg straight ahead.
You know, I love history. History's great. You can learn from history. Jeff Bezos should maybe do a little refresher on what happened to the king and Marie Antoinette during the French Revolution.
Yeah,
no, but I'm serious. Like, if any of these wealthy Silicon Valley people are under the impression that this is just going to continue and people are going to continue suffering and they're not going to fight back, they're wrong. And if they don't like unrest, they're about to get a lot of it. It's amazing to me how stupid the richest people in this country happen to be, right? Like, unwillingness and inability to see anything or consequences in the long term. It's all about short-term profit, short-term gain. No concern whatsoever about destroying, raping, and pillaging the very country that gave them the opportunity to be as wealthy as they are in the first place. So I don't know, at some point the chickens are gonna come home to roost. And I'm not really looking forward to that. I don't want that. I don't want revolution, okay? I want a better system, but it's impossible to reform the system, Cenk. I mean, you have two parties, the uniparty really. They're both captured by corporate interests. I mean, this technology was developed specifically to replace human workers. That's what this technology is actually about. That's why it was developed. Do you think it was developed to improve our lives? Come on.
Okay, I'm gonna give you two more devastating facts and then I'll give you a ray of hope, but it's really a ray and you're not gonna believe it. But I give it to you anyway. So the two other devastating facts are, it also is going to prevent new hires. People aren't thinking about that enough. Because you might keep your current employees, but think about it. Let's say that, so there's two different buckets of companies, right? There's the companies that are doing AI, like OpenAI and Meta, et cetera. And then there's the companies that are implementing AI, like Amazon and Jeff Bezos that Anna mentioned, et cetera. So, and again, just to be super clear for both of us, we never want anybody to get hurt. We're trying to prevent that, right? So anyways, they're doing all of that. But once a company that's implementing it, like Amazon, let's say that they fire 3/4 of their finance guys because they really, really don't need them after AI can just run the spreadsheets for them, right? Well, what's Amazon's competitor gonna do? They're gonna fire their finance guys and replace them with AI. Otherwise, they're at a competitive disadvantage to Amazon. So that's problem number one. Then problem number two is, do you think Amazon or the other company are gonna hire any new finance guys? No, why would they? They just fired 3/4 of their finance guys. Again, repeated for accounting, repeated for this, that, the other thing, and almost, I mean, an enormous percentage of the jobs. So then when people stop getting hired and they have massive student debt and they don't have health insurance, I mean, this is headed towards a significant disaster. So that, I say ray of hope, it's not really even, like, because right now what's happening is we're doing it the dumb way. Dumb way is, well, rich people are giving money to politicians and the tech bros have given tons and tons and tons of money. And so they bought a bunch of folks, including, by the way, the vice president. JD Vance was selected by Peter Thiel, given $10 million. He was in last, he went to first with that money. That seat in Ohio was totally bought by Peter Thiel and handed to JD Vance. And then the tech bros convinced JD Vance for Trump to pick Vance as vice president, etc. So they're infiltrating the government. They spent tons of monies on Democratic primaries, general elections, etc., to buy off the politicians, and they have. So now the AI rules are relaxed, and they could just go 100 miles an hour. And they keep saying, "Oh, the Chinese are going faster than us, so we got to go faster than." Plus, some of these were supposed to be altruistic and nonprofits. That's
come on, come on,
come on, get out of here.
Whenever any CEO, anyone from Silicon Valley talks about democratizing something or free speech or improving the lives of ordinary people, just know you're about to get effed in the ass, okay? Like right away. That's what's gonna happen.
Okay, I mean, yeah. So look, if you go with corporate Democrats or Republicans that have been bought off by the tech industry, there's no chance they're gonna change any of that, because there's billions to be made by the very, very top. So that money is going to totally consume them. If you go with fake populists like JD Vance, there's no chance that anything's going to change, right? Your only hope is, I know I'm beating the same drum, but populist left. And you need to get someone who's going to, like a guy, and again, I'm saying this because it's actually true. Like Ro Khanna is the guy who actually, and I mentioned it earlier in the show, came up with the idea of going into Republican districts and doing town halls in place of the Republicans. Now the Progressive Caucus is following in his footsteps and realizing, oh, that's a good idea. Ro Khanna has plans for how do we deal with AI so that it doesn't consume us and it doesn't destroy us and it doesn't lead to revolution. Let's have a smart strategy to get ahead of it, right? But I mean, it's such a tiny ray of hope because that tiny group of populist left guys have to win and their victory has to be so strong that they could overpower the money in politics to get us back on the right path. And as you hear me say that, you realize, yeah, there's a possibility, but boy, is that tough, right? Rebellionpact.com, let's give it a shot. But overall here, the Titanic is headed for a collision course with the iceberg. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.